俺はもっと恐ろしい存在。闇の巨人。
Welcome back to the Ultra Reviewer, where we discuss all things Ultraman. If you haven't already, do check out my videos on the Ultraman Gaia and the Ultraman Nexus series, and why these shows were the best in the franchise. Now, without further ado, let's get into today's video, Ultraman Tiga, The Final Odyssey, a movie not for children. Before we get into the summary of the movie, we do need to touch a little bit on the series. Ultraman Tiga, the series, begins with a meteor crashing onto Earth and is dissected by the organization known as TPC and their special task force known as GUTS. The GUTS team is led by Captain Iruma. Inside the meteor, they find a metal pyramid that contains an hologram of an old lady. This lady identifies herself as Yuzare, someone who lived in an ancient civilization on Earth more than 30 million years ago. In that hologram recording, she warns the people of Earth that two monsters would appear, Golza and Melba, and the only way to defeat these creatures is to give life to an ancient giant known as Ultraman Tiga.
柏村博士、どうです？
太陽系の彗星を模したタイムカプセルね。いたずらにしては手が込んでるな。
本物ですよ。ゴルザが現れることまでぴったりと言い当ててる。あれがゴルザとは限らん。そのうちメレバも。
大悟隊員、このタイムカプセルを信じるってことは、過去に私たちより優れた科学力を持つ文明があったと認めることなのよ。
Even though initially her words are unbelievable, the team does eventually follow up on what she says, due to the fact that both Golza and Melba have appeared, and they find the statue of Ultraman Tiga as a form of stone. And Daigo, the main character of the series, who crashes in his fighter jet, becomes into light just before the ship explodes, and his light goes into the body of Ultraman Tiga, and the ancient giant is revived.
ガッツ軍が墜落しようとする危機一髪の瞬間、第五隊員は光となって巨人の体内にあふれた。第五隊員の生命を得ることで、巨人は長き眠りから目覚めたのである。
Yuzare appears in episode 2 and explains to Daigo that he is Ultraman Tiga and Ultraman Tiga is him, along with some other information that she bestows on him. The series carries on with Ultraman Tiga assisting the GUTS team in almost all their missions. That leads to the team and Ultraman Tiga building a bond over the span of the whole series. In the finale, however, Ultraman Tiga is defeated by Gaton Zoha, also known as the King of Darkness. Ultraman Tiga, who is now a stone, like how we first found him in episode 1, is eventually revived by the light of the children all over the world. He rises again and defeats Gaton Zoha, but the price he pays is that he cannot transform into Ultraman Tiga again. We know this because it is revealed that the spark lens, the item that he uses to transform into Ultraman Tiga, disappears.
もうウルトラマンにはなれないね。
人間はみんな自分自身の力で光になれるんだ。レナもなれただろう。
And thus the series comes to an end. And that's all for the summary of the series. Now let's get into the movie. So the movie begins with Captain Iruma heading off for a scientific expedition with a team of TPC members. In that island, Captain Iruma finds some warnings on the walls that say that nobody should trespass this area. She attempts to warn the other members of the expedition, but they do not listen to her and carry on anyway by placing explosive on one of the walls. And there, they find 3 giants that are similar to Ultraman Tiga when he was first found, in the form of a statue. However, very quickly, these giants are revived and go on to kill all the members of the expedition. However, Captain Iruma survives but is knocked unconscious. Also, an army of Zoigas are released, which was one of the monsters that appeared in the Ultraman Tiga series.
あなたもその仲間入りをしませんか。この私みたいに。
Quite surprisingly, Yuzare suddenly comes out of the body of Captain Iruma and creates a force field around that island that prevents the 3 giants and the army of Zoigas from escaping. We quickly shift back to Daigo and Rina, who is Daigo's love interest, and are preparing to get married. However, Daigo is disturbed by illusions of a lady named Camilla, one of the 3 giants that were revived. He quickly finds out that Ultraman Tiga, who was once known as Dark Tiga, were allies with these 3 giants, and before he was the hero that saved everyone, he was the bringer of destruction, thus showing that Ultraman Tiga, before a hero, was once a villain.
3000万年前、私たちと一緒に世界を滅ぼした。それが大悟。あなたの姿なのよ。
He is presented with a dark spark lens that transforms him into Dark Tiga. With his newfound form, he heads off to face his 3 old allies and now enemies. Meanwhile, Rina joins the Guts team on a rescue mission to save their beloved captain.
私もう二度と戦うつもりはなかった。でも今行かないと絶対後悔する。そんなの嫌だから。
Daigo does eventually defeat all 3 of them. However, the way he defeats them is what's really interesting, and I will intentionally leave that out for you guys to watch and enjoy. The movie closes with Daigo finally reuniting with Rina, and they begin their new married life. There are many great things in this movie, which is what I'll discuss in my next video. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you have any feedbacks or any requests for future videos, please place them down in the comments, and thank you very much for watching.